Two Chinese naval ships arrive in the city ahead of National Day and will be open to public visits. Tuition fees for most direct-subsidy private and international schools are set to increase in the coming academic year. And rescuers are racing to find dozens of students trapped in rubble since the school building in Indonesia collapsed yesterday. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. Two Chinese People's Liberation Army naval ships, Qijiguang and Yimengshan, berthed in the city for the first time and are set to hold a flag-raising ceremony on the National Day and welcome the public for 2 days of free visits. Let's take a look. Measuring 163 meters long and 22 meters wide, the training vessel Qijiguang has a full load displacement of more than 9,000 tons, while the Yimengshan is a 210-meter-long amphibious landing ship with a displacement of nearly 20,000 tons. Passing through Victoria Harbour this morning, more than 100 servicemen stood on deck to form the number 76 to celebrate the 76th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. This mainlander expressed his excitement because seeing the two ships was a big surprise. The vessels were headed towards the PLA Hong Kong Garrison's naval base on Stonecutters Island, where they would dock and be open to the public on Wednesday and Thursday. A total of 11,000 tickets were made available for reservation, and they had all been quickly snapped up. And some primary and secondary school students were able to get ahead and tour the ship's facilities under the guidance of officers this afternoon. This student said he felt really excited while seeing this spectacular vessel. This student expressed that seeing the various equipment deepened her interest in the ocean. The tour took around 15 to 20 minutes, as the students were shown different military equipments of the modern warships, and they all seemed to enjoy it very much. Hong Kong is rolling out a welcome mat for one of its biggest tourist surges in years, as an 8-day Super Golden Week holiday is set to kick off in the mainland tomorrow. The SAR is poised to welcome over 1.5 million visitors, with City Leader John Lee ordering a major government mobilization to ensure a smooth and memorable experience for all. Kun Ting-yang shares more.
Speaking ahead of the weekly Executive Council meeting, Lee revealed that visitor numbers are projected to rise 11% compared to last year, with approximately 1,200 tourist groups expected to arrive during what is commonly known as Golden Week, except this year's holiday runs longer for 8 days due to its overlap with the Mid-Autumn Festival. Lee said he has instructed government departments to make comprehensive preparations. Detailed measures include increasing staff encounters at major border checkpoints, streamlining passenger and vehicle flows, and activating round-the-clock monitoring through the Security Bureau's Emergency Monitoring and Support Center and an interdepartmental Joint Command Center. Transport networks are also scaling up. Cross-boundary shuttle buses will run more frequently, while MTR will adjust services dynamically to demand. Additional police officers will manage crowds at key tourist spots and major events, like the National Day fireworks display as well as the Tai Han Fire Dragon Dance, which will be held for 3 consecutive days and has long attracted tourists. Sightseeing-wise, tourists can check real-time wait times at popular sites, like the Peak Tram, Observation Wheel, and theme parks, via a dedicated portal by Hong Kong Tourism Board. Kun Ting-yang, Cable News.
Chief Executive John Lee urged foreign diplomats not to involve in destructive activities in Hong Kong after Beijing condemned the new U.S. envoy for meeting with opposition figures in the city. Jamie Liu reports.
After taking over as U.S. Consul General in Hong Kong last month, Julie Ida held an inaugural reception, inviting guests including former Democratic Party Chairman Emily Lau. Later, Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office reposted 3 times a commentary condemning the U.S. diplomat for meeting with anti-China and anti-Hong Kong individuals and warned her about severe countermeasures. The article also revisited Ida's 2019 protest controversy when the U.S. consular staffer was seen meeting opposition figures like Joshua Wong and Nathan Law. Speaking before attending the Executive Council meeting, Lee warned foreign diplomats not to interfere in Hong Kong affairs.
They should perform their duties in Hong Kong in a manner befitting their diplomatic status and refrain from interfering in China's internal affairs and Hong Kong's affairs under any pretext or in any form. They should respect China's sovereignty and the rule of law in Hong Kong. I hope all consuls in Hong Kong will engage in constructive activities, not destructive activities.
Meanwhile, overseas-based former opposition lawmaker Nathan Law, who is wanted for national security offences, was denied entry upon arriving in Singapore on Saturday. Singapore, which has an extradition agreement with Hong Kong, said Law's entry would not be in its national interest. The chief executive sidestepped questions whether he has asked the city-state to extradite Law. He only reiterated his pledge for a lifelong pursuit of national security absconders and warned other countries not to harbour criminals. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The Education Bureau has approved 172 direct-subsidy private and international schools to raise tuition fees for the coming academic year, with average increase of about 4.6%. Kun Ting Yang has the details.
The Education Bureau received 174 requests for fee increase, 26% less than last year. Only 2 applications were rejected, while the majority of schools implemented modest increases. For direct-subsidy secondary schools, 27 of the 30 approved schools raised fees by 5.8% or less, while only 3 schools implemented higher increases ranging between 5.81% and 10%. Similarly, all approved private and international schools maintain increases at or below 10%. The Education Bureau emphasized that schools must provide detailed financial justifications for tuition fee hike and conduct thorough consultations with parents, particularly when proposing increases exceeding the 5.8% benchmark. Additionally, direct-subsidy schools are required to allocate at least 10% of their total tuition income toward fee remission and scholarship programs. This year's fee adjustments come amid a broader government push to diversify Hong Kong's educational landscape. Recent policy address measures include allowing direct-subsidy schools to expand intake of fee-paying non-local students and encouraging international schools to increase enrollment capacity. Kun Ting Yang, Cable News.
The district court found the former mother-in-law of slain model Abby Choi guilty of perverting the course of justice 2 years ago. Jenny Lee, 65, was accused of misleading officers by feigning ignorance about the whereabouts of her son, Alice Kwong. However, CCTV footage showed her urging Kwong to abscond during the murder investigation. The court also ruled that Lee's testimony was untruthful, including her claims of having a vague memory regarding the details of her son's wanted status, as she should have remembered such information clearly. The 65-year-old has been remanded in custody and will be sentenced on October 28th. 28-year-old Choi's case is deemed one of the most shocking murders in Hong Kong, as authorities discovered a young woman's skull, believed to be Choi's, in a cooking pot, with body parts in a refrigerator. Ex-husband Alice Kwong, his elder brother and their father are currently in custody awaiting trial for murder. A school building in East Java town of Indonesia collapsed on Monday, leaving at least 3 students dead, over 100 injured and dozens presumed buried under rubble. Rescuers were desperately digging through concrete debris looking for survivors in overnight rescue operations, supported by several heavy equipment. Several injured survivors were pulled out as the rescue team was running oxygen and water to those still trapped under the debris to keep them alive. A 4-story under construction prayer hall is an Islamic boarding school on Indonesia's main island of Java collapsed yesterday with more than 100 students inside, mostly boys between the ages of 12 and 17. The authorities said the old prayer hall that originally had only 2 stories was renovated by adding 2 more floors for education purposes without a permit. Following a summit at the White House, Israel has agreed to a U.S.-sponsored peace plan for Gaza, but warned it will finish the job if Hamas rejects. Hamas is reportedly reviewing the document in good faith. Jamie Liu reports.
Following the bilateral meeting, U.S. President Donald Trump said Israel has agreed to his 20-point ceasefire plan.
Everyone else has accepted it, but I have a feeling that we're going to have a positive answer. But if not, as you know, Bibi, you'd have our full backing to do what you would have to do.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed support for the plan, saying it achieves our war aims. But he also joined Trump in delivering an ultimatum to Hamas.
But if Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way, but it will be done.
Under Trump's peace plan, Israeli forces will cease all military operations and gradually withdraw from Gaza. Within 72 hours of Israel publicly accepting this agreement, Hamas must return all hostages, alive and deceased. Then, nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners and detainees in Israel will be released. While the U.S. proposal calls for Israel to promise not to occupy or annex Gaza, it makes no mention of a Palestinian state. It only said a transitional body will run local services until the Palestinian Authority completes a reform program. The plan also promises a demilitarization of Gaza and amnesty for Hamas members who surrender their weapons, but does not explicitly demand Hamas to disarm. Palestinian Authority, several Arab and Muslim nations, and the European Union welcomed the U.S. peace efforts. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Afghanistan is experiencing a near-total telecommunications blackout after the Taliban administration imposed a nationwide shutdown of internet, severing millions of people from the outside world. The blackout began yesterday in phases, culminating a near-complete cutoff by Tuesday. Internet connectivity in the country collapsed to just 1% of ordinary levels, according to a monitoring group. Mobile internet and satellite TV have also been severely disrupted across the nation of 43 million people, with flight cancellations, banking and e-commerce systems suspended. The Taliban have yet to give an official reason for the shutdown, but said it will last until further notice. The Islamic fundamentalist group had vowed to cut off access as part of a crackdown on immoral activities. Electronic Arts, one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, has agreed a deal to sell the company for $55 billion. EA is known for making and publishing best-selling games such as EAFC, The Sims, and Battlefield. The consortium of buyers include Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, Silver Lake, and U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners. The purchase price puts a significant 25% premium on the market value of EA, valuing it at $210 per share, making the deal as the largest leveraged buyout in history, where a significant amount of the purchase is financed by borrowing money. If completed, it will also be the second most valuable gaming purchase in history. The take price offer comes at a crucial time for EA, which is banking heavily on its core sports portfolio and action shooter intellectual property to weather a sluggish video game industry. Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 232 points. Top active stocks of the day: Tencent was up $3, Xiaomi was up 45 cents. SMIC was up $3.05. Meituan was up $1.70. On to the weather now. Cloudy periods and 1 or 2 isolated showers in the morning and at night. Mainly fine and very hot during the day, light winds. Mainly fine and persistently very hot in the following couple of days. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.